Imagine this. You are floating in space, farther from Earth than almost any human before you. Outside your window is complete darkness. No sound, no wind, no life. And then suddenly, inside your headset, you hear music. Strange, unexplainable, almost haunting. At first, you think it is technical glitch. But then the other astronaut hear it too. And for nearly an hour, three astronauts traveling behind the moon listen to a mysterious sound nobody could explain. A sound so strange that NASA kept it hidden from the public for years. This is the true story of Apollo 10. The year was 1969. The world was obsessed with space. The Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union had turned space into a battlefield. And NASA was preparing for humanity's biggest moment, landing on the moon. But before the famous Apollo 11 mission, there was another mission, a dangerous rehearsal, Apollo 10. Its crew, Thomas Stafford, John Young, Eugene Cernan. Their job was simple: travel to the moon, test every system, practice the landing, but not actually land. At least, that was the official plan. As Apollo 10 approached the moon, something terrifying happened. The spacecraft moved behind the moon. Now, this may not sound dangerous, but it was. Because the moment they entered the moon's far side, they lost all communications with Earth. No radio, no contact, no help. For the first time in history, human beings were completely isolated in deep space. Imagine that feeling. Millions of kilometers away from home, floating in total silence, with absolutely nobody able to hear you. And then the sound started. At first, it was a faint, a weird whistling noise, almost like space music. The astronauts looked at each other in confusion. One of them asked, "Did you hear that?" Another replied, "Yeah, that weird music." The sound continued, high-pitched, electronic, and natural. The astronauts became uncomfortable because space was supposed to be silent. But this sound alive for almost an hour. The mysterious sound echoed through their headsets while they remained trapped behind the moon. And the strangest part, NASA didn't tell the public, not for years. When NASA finally released mission tapes decades later, people were shocked. Conspiracy theories exploded everywhere. Some believed the astronauts hear alien signals. Others thought there was something hidden on the moon. The internet became obsessed with the mystery. But the astronauts themselves never fully understood what they hear in that moment. Imagine sitting in deep space, cut off from Earth, hearing sounds nobody can explain. Even trained astronauts admitted it felt disturbing. Because when humans enter unknown places, the mind starts imagining terrifying possibilities, and space is the most unknown place of all. Most people think astronauts are fearless, but they aren't. They are human. And behind the moon, Apollo 10's crew experienced something psychologically terrifying: complete isolation. No human in history had ever gone that far before. No rescue was possible. If something failed, they would disappear forever into darkness. And then hearing unexplained sounds. It only made the fear worse. Years later, astronaut Eugene Cannon admitted that deep space changes you mentally. Because when Earth disappears from your window, you suddenly realizing how alone humanity really is. Eventually, scientists came up with an explanation. The music was likely caused by interference between radios inside the spacecraft, a technical phenomenon. Not aliens, not secret creatures on the moon, just radio signals interacting in a strange way. But here is the thing. Even if science explains the sound later, that doesn't erase the fear those astronauts felt in that moment. Because out there, behind the moon. They didn't know what it was, and uncertainty is often more terrifying than danger itself. Today, the story of Apollo 10 remains one of space history's creepiest mysteries. Not because of aliens, but because it reveals something deeper. Space is not just dangerous physically, it affects the human mind. The silence, the darkness, the isolation can make even the bravest human afraid. And somewhere beyond the moon, those astronauts once floated in darkness, listening to music no human expected to hear.